Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chris O Show. Wherever you're listening, wherever you're watching, we're glad you joined us and we appreciate your time and attention. Today, a really great guest, special friend to the show who's been on several times, and someone who I think is just an amazing person, Autumn Smith. Welcome, Autumn.
Thanks, Chris. That is the sweetest introduction ever. And I am your friend. Although, we don't get to see each other
No,
often, especially now that I'm in Newfoundland.
yeah, exactly. Well, we'll go
Well,
to Newfoundland later.
yeah, totally.
let's
Go
let's
later.
let's not spoil the Newfoundland surprise.
Yeah, all right. Edit.
But we're chatting today. Let's start with what's coming up in Muskoka, A Christmas Carol, Timber Beast Productions. Love it. Let's talk about what's going on with that.
Um, Last year we did a reading of Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol, and
Yes.
people were very upset because we, for the 2 years previous to that, we had done our Gravenhurst Christmas Carol, which is kind of like this epic community
Yeah.
promenade production. So
Yes.
the audience follows Scrooge through the town of Gravenhurst. So it's part theater, part event,
Yeah.
part fitness exercise. Um, but all awesome, I have to say. And so we're bringing it back this year. We're bringing back our roving production because people really love that experience, right? It
Yes.
is an experience rather than just a theater production that you go and sit and watch. They
Yes.
get to feel like they're implicated or part of the community, traveling with Scrooge as he journeys um, with the ghosts.
That's
So
awesome.
it's really exciting, and it's great because for me it really is a love letter to Gravenhurst.
Nice.
And um, being away from Gravenhurst makes me really pine for it.
Nice.
Everyone's like, "You pine for Gravenhurst?" I do, because it is a community built on kindness and
Yeah,
charity and collective awesomeness.
it's true.
So I am dying to get back and share this story again, which really is a mirror for all of those things, charity,
Yeah.
kindness, and you
Personal
know,
growth, even.
personal and finding yourself like
Yeah.
our the Scrooge that we've adapted,
Yes.
the Scrooge in the adaptation, the Gravenhurst adaptation, is someone who's lost their way because of immense tragedy and personal loss in their life.
Yeah.
So he is a man that is grieving
Yes.
and has shut himself away. Instead of opening himself up to society, he's kind of turtled in
Yeah.
and become very insular and
Yeah.
lonely. So it's kind of a remarkable journey where we actually get to empathize with the guy, right?
Yeah.
Early on, because we get to see where he's come from and how he's an immigrant to the place, but then rises up
Yeah.
and builds as a self-made man, like
Yes.
a lot of our residents are.
Yeah.
Um, and how he finds different people in the community and how the community supports that growth.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, I love this adaptation. I'm
Yeah.
proud of it. And this year it's bigger and hopefully better
Yes.
than before. We have a new Scrooge. There's an actor that I love working with, Ken Northfield,
Okay.
um, who was in Souls of the Shield, and he played Malvolio in My Twelfth Night when
Oh,
I did
wow.
Ravenhurst Wharf.
Yeah.
He's a complicated actor who brings a lot of specificity and nuance to the worlds that he inhabits.
Yes.
So he texts me every day different lines from the show as he's memorizing, which is terribly adorable. But he's a really passionate, thoughtful actor. So
Yeah.
I think that will be something really new. We have Earl Sacre,
Yeah.
Gravenhurst stalwart, uh,
Yes.
the teacher at the Gravenhurst High School who's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
coming back as Jacob Marley.
That's wonderful.
Earl is amazing.
Yeah,
Like, I absolutely adore him. He's a good human being,
he
one.
is.
But besides that, he's a brilliant Marley because he brings a pain to Marley, which most people just, shrug off. They're like, he's a ghost. He's a door knocker, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Um, but there's an urgency to Earl's interpretation of it,
See,
which
and I love that.
love.
There
I love
should
it.
be. There should be. Like they were best friends
They
in
were
life,
best friends, and he's trying to help Scrooge
not
um
suffer his fate.
reconcile.
There
Yeah.
should be that kind of urgent. There should be that emotional attachment to it that's more than just I warned you, right?
Yeah. It's there's love present.
Nice.
So we have Earl returning. We have Mark Hiscox, who is our wonderful ghost of Christmas present, whose buoyancy and radiant love and kindness.
Yes.
So he's coming back. We have a new Mrs. Cratchit this year, a younger emerging artist who I worked with this summer in Millbrook, Ontario,
Okay.
who is a brilliant actor. Uh, they just exude again kindness and this collective spirit
Nice.
and feistiness that I think Mrs. Cratchit needs.
Yeah.
And we have a new Bob Cratchit this year, who is a young actor, again from Millbrook,
Oh wow. Okay. Cool.
who's studying at U of T.
Very cool.
Um, Zach Radford, who is just all heart,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's a perfect Bob. So, and then we have a ton of community people, from Huntsville Theater Company, from, Dragonfly,
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Hub Productions. All these kids are coming.
Nice.
And, we have a great little Tiny Tim and an amazing, boy that goes and gets the goose. And we have
Yeah.
a young, a young teen that's playing, the eldest Cratchit. So
That's
it's really
awesome.
community and
Yeah.
we have great community partners. We have, St. James Anglican Church, we have the Chamber,
Yeah.
we have Trinity United, Knox Presbyterian, and for the first time, we've got Sawdust.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
yeah, Sawdust has come on board.
Very nice.
So there's a little
Little
there's a little
plug.
surprise at the end of the show.
A surprise. I love it.
Surprise.
You know what's so cool, and this is something I think our theater community and our arts community does really well. Whether it's Gravenhurst, Huntsville, Bracebridge, Muskoka as a whole, there's a
Mhm.
lot of support for each other, and everyone wants each other to do well. And I love that you mentioned how there's all these kids and different actors and people coming from the different production companies, so to speak, and theater companies to help make this a great production and a great community event.
Yeah, and our goal at Timber Beast is, yes, we do professional theater, and our goal is to bring professional theater to the area,
Yep.
especially immersive, site-specific work.
Yes.
That's our, that tells the Muskoka story through adaptations or new narratives,
Yeah.
right? But we also want to encourage local artists to get paid. Uh,
Yes.
a small honorarium to say this work is possible if we keep supporting one
Yeah.
another, right?
Yeah.
And no, community theaters, they don't pay. You do it for the love of it.
Hmm.
But we really want to encourage people to keep going and to keep coming back to us and to keep building something, a new arts ecology,
Yes.
right? Like for a long time, it was kind of like, so we want to build it, we want to build it up.
Yeah.
So not only are local residents come to see the theater
But it
and
attracts people
support
from
what we're doing,
elsewhere.
but bring people
Yeah.
in so we get
Yes.
that tourism money, right?
Yes.
And get people off their island in the summer. Oh my God, there's something happening.
Exactly.
And we should go support that.
Yes.
What we can't just sit on our dock. surely.
It's true.
And, look at the lake.
Yeah,
Can do that. You can do that anywhere,
it's true. And you
really.
can do that anytime.
Yeah.
So, and I love that. And that's the one thing that I've always really loved about, your vision, your mission, and Timber Beast Productions as a whole is you want to bring the professional theater. And that's something we've talked about before, but it's nice to remind people this is what we're doing. These are people who've gone to school for the arts. These are people who've
Oh,
gone to
yeah.
school, who have experience doing professional theater, and not just in Muskoka, but everywhere.
That's
Because I know,
right.
right? There's
That's right.
people that with experience doing stage in Toronto and
Yeah.
and whatnot, and to some larger audiences than they're doing here. And so I think that it's huge to remind people about that. That's why you got to come and support these productions as much as, yes, there is a bit of a homage to the area. These are familiar tales with a new take. And then there's some original stuff going on too, right? And uh there's just so much to see and do, and I love, I think we need to remind people about that. These are pros. This is not, and yeah, we're bringing some amateurs in, and we're bringing some new
Yeah.
faces in.
It's a cycle for me. Like
Yeah.
it's what the professionals bring is that craft
Hmm.
and the knowledge of craft because they have been doing it.
Yep.
They're going to school, they have finished school.
Yes.
So they know the craft. It's in their body,
Yes.
right? But what local people know is our story.
Yes.
So those worlds colliding and the cycle of learning that happens within that is super exciting. And
100%.
me being in the middle of it, learning from everybody is like my jam. Like I never stop learning from people.
It's true.
And I love that. I love any opportunity to bring worlds together and watch, kindness work its magic across the boards.
I
So
love it. I love how you said about the learning, and it's something in my career, obviously, in the media and writing stories, and with Dockside as a marketing content writer, you're learning from all these business professionals, especially successful ones, and they're teaching you as you're talking to them, and that's the best teaching. Like you said, you're absorbing all this cool knowledge, and it's the one-on-one, and that's how it was done for generations before we had all these textbooks, right? It's like
yeah,
that's the best learning because you absorb it, right?
for for sure, for sure. And uh, there, I it sometimes as a director,
Yeah.
as a writer, a director, and you must feel this too. It's incredibly isolating.
Yes.
And it's a solo thing. So any chance I can get to work with other people,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, other people are cool.
It's true.
You know?
It's
You're like,
so true.
wow, neat. I like that.
It's so true.
Um, it's great. Like I just realized I didn't hit okay on my recording thing.
Uh-oh.
Is that okay?
I'm sure it's recording. I hope it's
It's
recording.
it's recording. Yeah, it's been recording. Uh, I just didn't hit okay, but I'm sure it's okay.
I'm sure it's okay. We'll figure it out. Not we'll be talking Monday morning.
I was so excited. I was so excited to talk to you. I just kept
I'm sure it's
blabbing
fine.
on and didn't look at my computer prompt.
I'm sure it's fine. I don't.
Yeah,
If not, then we'll have to talk again Monday morning.
shucks. It was a ploy. I admit it was a ploy. It was a ploy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's all good. I might have to edit that out, but that's okay.
Okay.
I didn't
Okay.
press record.
Keep it
Or we
real.
just
Keep it
leave it because
real.
it's so
I show
natural.
my dysfunction to everybody in Muskoka. I'm okay with it.
What's funny is I find and it's something I did for years. From when I started doing interviews for journalism, it's just have conversations with people. So yes, there's certain things you want to hit, especially when it's an event. Okay, so what's the event about? What community is it in? Where's it happening? How's it happening? Who's involved? What's the date? But other than that, people just want to like be natural and chat about life, right? And
Yeah.
so some of the coolest conversations come from just chatting, and I don't mind being natural, and people are listening to me rant on, and they'll keep listening. It's fine. But
Yeah. You kind
anyways,
of have to if
you
you're in
kind of
a
have
interview
to.
with you.
Um, you know what? So on that note, actually, what we didn't say is the date. because that just reminded me we didn't say the date of A
Right.
Christmas Carol there. Yeah,
The Gravenhurst Christmas Carol is coming back December 11th.
December 11th. Perfect.
So it's going to be a little convoluted, but
Okay.
I'm going to spell it all out.
Okay,
So
perfect.
December 11th to 14th and 18th to the 21st
Okay, perfect.
are our outdoor promenade performances.
Nice.
They start at the Gravenhurst Chamber of Commerce
Yep.
beside the Norman Bethune statue,
Perfect.
the stethoscope, because there's a couple in town. So that's the one on the main street beside the Opera House.
Yeah.
It's starting this year at the Chamber,
Perfect.
which is exciting.
That is exciting.
Um, December the 15th and the 22nd, we are doing indoor performances.
Okay.
And those are fully accessible. Accessibility and inclusion are really important
Yeah.
to us and our mandate.
Nice.
So we want to make sure that people, who can't do the walk, who,
Yeah.
might have mobility issues,
Yeah.
might have auditory issues, might have, sensitivity to cold,
Yes.
um, they will be inside Trinity United Church, again, starting at 7:30. So the
Gotcha.
Sunday performances are at Trinity.
Yeah.
And if there's inclement weather, we'll also move inside.
Move inside. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I mean, we are not adverse to performing in snow. Snow is actually quite beautiful.
Yes.
Rain's a no-go for me.
No, and
Yeah,
it would ruin it.
I've worked with companies that make people perform in the rain, and
No.
it's miserable
Yeah.
for actor and audience alike.
Yeah, nobody's gonna enjoy themselves. Now,
No.
a beautiful, lovely snowfall,
Oh,
it
what's
just
not
sets
to
the
love?
tone. It sets the tone. There's nothing
Yeah,
wrong with that.
it's Christmas time,
Exactly.
holiday cheer.
Exactly. Right. And so
Have a
that's
waffle. Yeah.
that makes sense. You would do that. But yeah, you can't do it in the rain or like an ice storm or anything like that. That's not, you're not gonna be able to do that.
No, no, for me, safety and kindness are always first.
Yes. I
Those are
appreciate that.
the pillars of the company,
I
safety and
appreciate that.
kindness.
No, but I appreciate that. I think everyone appreciates that. I mean, and if you're lucky, you're gonna get that nice kind of, just cold enough, but not too cold weather, a little bit of snow here and there. That
Yeah,
perfect kind of setting, right?
like -3 to +3 is
Exactly.
ideal.
Exactly.
Ideal.
And
Yeah.
that's like that perfect Christmas setting. And let's hope we get some snow before your performance so that it does set the tone.
You know what? It's okay if we don't. Like
Yeah,
traditionally in England, everyone thinks that it snows in England.
but it doesn't.
There's no snow in London usually at
No,
Christmas time.
it's true.
I lived in London. I saw snow once, and the whole nation came to a grinding halt
Yeah.
because trains can't run. I mean, we're talking less than a centimeter
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
snow.
Yeah.
And I was living in the country, and I was like, phoning British Rail, when is it going to open again?
Yeah.
They're like, when the snow melts. I'm like, are you kidding? All right, amazing.
That happened in Italy too. I think it was Rome or whatever. And they got like a centimeter and they shut it down. And I'm like, how do you shut down one of the biggest cities in the world, London, Rome, whatever, over like nothing?
Yeah,
And we're like,
it's
and we're
astounding.
sitting here and it's 20 centimeters and we're shoveling ourselves out and going to
Uh,
work.
like 2 Christmases ago. Do you
Yeah,
remember?
remember that? Oh my gosh.
Insane. The Snowmageddon of 22 is
I
what I call
remember we had to go to
it.
we're going to my dad's less than 3 kilometers away, and that was a challenge. We made it. We made it.
Oh,
We made it, but it was a challenge getting there, getting home. Getting home, there were no such thing as stoplights.
yeah, no, you just go right through. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So,
Snowmageddon 22. It's
well,
great.
let's hope
Cool.
that doesn't happen again.
I mean, I'm okay with snow. Snow
Me
is so
too.
pretty and fun to play in.
Yeah.
It will be challenging though, because a lot of our action takes place in the St. James Anglican churchyard.
Yes.
So the more snow there is, the more, you know. And, because I'm a glutton for punishment, I narrate the piece.
Okay, cool.
So,
You're going everywhere.
yeah, I all the things, all the times. It's one of those, it's yeah, yeah.
That's
I
okay though.
I love it. I secretly I hate acting, but I secretly love narrating.
So
So,
but that's cool. But you know why?
yeah,
Because you're a writer at heart, and that's what you do, and
yeah.
you write things and you create. So narrating is the more natural thing, probably, right?
Yeah, because you get to share the story.
Yeah.
And I love words and I love story,
Nice.
right?
Yeah.
And Christmas Carol, as Dickens penned it, it's a masterpiece. It is so beautifully articulated. It's a reflection on humanity and the goodness that still prevails in the world,
I love it.
you know?
I love it.
So it's awesome to be able to speak that text and to, you know, dive into it every night.
Oh, that's amazing. I love
Yeah.
it. I
Yeah.
love it. See, that's and that's just the best. Like you get to share the story, which is your favorite part. You get to
Ah,
tell everyone, you get to just dive into it and just, do your thing. Oh, fantastic.
it's kind of like being a kindergarten teacher or like an early childhood educator
Yeah,
and like telling the story and getting excited about it,
that's
right?
awesome.
We lose the thread of that. We lose the thread of our curiosity. So I hope when people come, they can let go and just be a kid again and
Yeah,
dive in a way that is expansive with curiosity and an open heart.
that's
Right?
awesome. That's
So
awesome.
that's
And
kind
you know
of
what? It's such a well-known tale. Your adaptations of well-known tales are always fantastic. And um people are just gonna like you feel the emotion. And I think anyone from anywhere in Muskoka or beyond listening, make a point, like go get immersed in the Gravenhurst Christmas Carol, get immersed in it, enjoy the story, support like these you know up and coming actors and experienced actors and experienced production people and have some fun. Like wherever you are, there's so many dates. I'm gonna put the dates on the blog so it's easy to follow. You'll be able to just click the link and you're good to go, and it'll take you to Timber Beast too. So we'll put all that up so nobody has to go re-listen 10 times to find out. We'll have it all easy for you. And and yeah, and just go and do it, people. Like, I think it's going to be fantastic. We're getting close to our time where we have to cut it down, which is what we do because we talk for, and we'll talk again, I'm sure, in the near future.
that'd
But before we go, I know just a little shout out to what you're doing right now in Newfoundland.
be uh a dream gig. I I am a professor right now at Memorial University in Corner Brook.
It's awesome.
So I this opportunity kind of fell into my lap. The stars aligned.
Nice.
I think with the sprinkling of my mother's fairy dust from the beyond,
Nice.
and brought me here. I am teaching a master class to the third years, and then I've just completed actually. I keep saying it's in the present, but the
Yeah, yeah.
show last weekend, I directed Eurydice by
Oh,
Sarah
cool.
Ruhl, which is, the story of Orpheus and
Yeah,
Eurydice
yeah,
from
yeah.
Eurydice's perspective.
Nice.
And basically it charts her trajectory to the underworld and coming into contact once again with her father, who she loves and
That's
was her
awesome.
favorite person. And, her struggle to go with Orpheus and then not to go with Orpheus and stay in the underworld. And um, it was great. I can honestly say that it has been one of the most rewarding artistic experiences of my life.
Fantastic.
And it came at a time when this is this is a weird business, I have to say, especially for a working class artist.
Yeah,
There's a great deal of precarity when you don't have financial backup.
it's true.
So the work, if you're not going to create it yourself, is sparse.
Yeah,
So that's why I create it myself most of the time. But
love it.
um, it's a difficult gig, and a lot of times, because of the precarity, people struggle in it, and sometimes it is an unkind business.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and this experience has reminded me of the importance of what I do,
Nice.
and that we can do things differently, even with the precarity in place.
Yeah.
We can always tell story with kindness
Yeah.
and collective awesomeness.
It's true.
So, it has been phenomenal
I love
and,
it.
and extraordinary. Like it is, and to wake up to the sight of the ocean every day. I mean, and like this morning, I'm like, I need to go for a walk. I'm going to go down to the beach and get beach glass. I literally have a 20-pound bag of beach glass in the back of my vehicle right now. Like, I don't know if I'll get on the ferry with it, you know?
Yeah, that's how much it's.
I know. There's like, so yeah,
That's awesome. That's
that's been great. But I miss home.
yes, of course.
Ravenhurst and Newfoundland they're very similar.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's a lot of kind, community centric people
I love it.
who have each other's backs.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, we're looking forward to you coming home.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, me
It
too. Me
it's
too.
it's gonna be soon, obviously, because you're narrating the Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
So, um,
Hopefully the ferry's going when I'm supposed to get
oh my
across.
gosh, I know. Fingers crossed.
You
It'll be
know?
fine. It'll be
Ah, it's
fine.
sure. It'll be great. I gave myself a 4-day buffer between here and there. So
Nice. Oh, you're
I'll
good
be
then.
fine.
You're totally good. We you know what? Just one quick story. So, my sister-in-law used to live out it like my wife's family. Half of them are from Cape Breton, right?
Oh,
So
awesome.
and so she's a maritimer. Half of her is a maritimer. The other half is Polish, literally
Okay.
from Poland. So really crazy mix. But we went to visit my sister-in-law and my niece out in Cape Breton. We drove out there, spent like 10 days, and then drove back, and it was snowstorm, rainstorm,
Yeah.
uh 20-degree
Yeah.
weather, like everything.
Well, Sarah and my dad came out
Yeah,
last weekend to see my show.
yeah.
It was a whiteout. It was a blizzard.
I know and it changes every like day. I,
So,
and every like every province coming home it changes. Like
I know.
so
I know. I was going to be very industrious and ambitious. I'll say
yeah.
ambitious. And I was going to drive from Port Sydney in Cape Breton to Montreal in one day. And I'm like, girl, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So I changed it to Riviere de Loup instead.
Nice. Lovely. That's good though.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think I want to drive. I mean, well, Sarah was here because Sarah drove out with me so we could have a
Yeah.
little vacation.
Yeah.
We decided to drive from St. John's to St. Anthony. I'm like,
Nice.
a small island.
Yeah,
We can
yeah.
do that.
We could do it.
14
Yeah.
hours.
Because it's not
Um,
close.
no, no, naive. I was naive and did not do my research.
Well, we drove home in one shot, switching turns, Candace and I, from Cape
Yeah.
Breton to Huntsville.
Yeah.
We did it in
Wonder.
one straight. Now on the way there, we stopped at Montreal, Halifax. We
Yeah.
on the way there, we made it the vacation, and on the way home, it was just straight home.
I just want to get there.
I just want to get
We're
home.
done. This is done.
Yeah, we're done. So, but taking turns, you can do that. You know,
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
takes turns sleeping and You do
I
it.
don't have a turn. I don't
No,
have a,
you're
it's
gonna you need to
me.
just relax and just enjoy the trip. Just enjoy the journey, right? So
Enjoy the 10-hour drive one day and the 10-hour drive.
exactly. Well, that's it, right? And that's what
No,
it'll be. So,
no,
that's not too bad.
uh,
Eh,
no, yeah,
Anyways, on that note, I think our time is done. I gotta shut us down. I gotta shut us down before
fine.
we're recording too much. Anyways,
Right.
we're gonna say goodbye to everybody that's listening, that's watching. Gravenhurst Christmas Carol coming in December. First night is December 11th. All the nights will be on the blog post. Check it out. No matter where you're listening, watching, or hanging out with us, we really appreciate you. Thank you, Autumn. Always a
Thank you.
pleasure. And thank you, everyone. Ciao for now, my friends.
Ciao.